are you concerned about the Cleveland Cavaliers? I, for one, can say that the 3-4 start is very concerning due to the simple fact that a couple weeks ago or a month ago, people were saying that this Cleveland team is the best team LeBron James has ever played on, which I completely disagree with 100%. To me, that Miami team, when they went to 4 straight NBA titles, besides the first year, second, third year, and even the fourth year, even though they got blown out by San Antonio, that was the best team he's ever played on. Even with Dwayne Wade's injuries, when Dwayne Wade was there, that team was dangerous. They won 2 titles with that team. So a month ago, we were just talking about how LeBron James has the best team he's ever played on. He has the best amount of depth. He has the best coaching he's ever had. He has versatile players, two-way players. Isaiah Thomas, of course, he's out. But Jay Crowder, J.R. Smith, Dwayne Wade coming in to save the day. He's going to bolster the bench or he's going to be a starter. That didn't work out, him being a starter. So now we put him back to bolstering the bench. And they start out 3-4. We can understand them losing games, by close margins. But a lot of the games they've been losing have been blowouts. In the past 3 losses, they've been giving up at least 110 points a game. The most recent loss came to the New York Knicks. They lose 95 to 114. 95 to 114. The Knicks basically did what they wanted with them. They were getting open threes. They were getting transition. They were getting drives to the basket. And the Cavs are just sitting there looking around, one looking at another guy. Nobody's talking on defense. And it just doesn't make any sense. People are saying that they had a short training camp. Everybody has a short training camp. If you want to bring it like that, Warriors went to China. Other guys went here and there. That's not really an excuse. You guys they moved LeBron James to the point guard position and, everything's supposed to be solved. LeBron saves the day once again. He's going to do his thing. He's going to score. He's going to give you big numbers, which he did. He gave you numbers. He got his numbers, which he did in the NBA Finals, which is what Stephen A. Smith talked about. When you looked at the NBA Finals, LeBron James was getting his. He averaged a triple-double, but it's not necessarily like the triple-double was going to do anything with the big guns that Golden State had. Golden State had the big guns. They were going off. By the time LeBron James got a triple-double, the game's already over. But last night, LeBron James' stat line, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. You know what his plus-minus was? -17. I notice as the more and more LeBron James plays the point guard position, the more and more his stats begin to decline. You see him, he had 34 the first game, 29 the next game, 29 in the next game against the Nets, they lose. Plays the New York Knicks, they lose. I don't think LeBron James at the point guard position is going to solve the Cavs' issues because the Cavs' issues is youth, it is discipline, it is defensive principles, which they've suffered from last year. That's why they were close to dead last in defense last year. They were below average. This year, their defense, they're ranked 27th in the NBA. They're awful. The transition D is awful. The post defense is awful. And the perimeter defense is awful. And you would think with Dwayne Wade, he's a crafty veteran, like they say, and LeBron James and J.R. Smith, and Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is supposed to be a top-notch defender. But what did I tell you guys? Age is a determining factor. Defensive principles is also a determining factor. And that's something that the Cavs lack. So, LeBron James moving at the point guard position was supposed to solve everything. I think not. And now you have teams like the New York Knicks embarrassing you on your home. It was a home game. They got embarrassed on their own home floor. Their offense was abysmal. Their offense, they're below average. They don't hit enough threes to compete with a lot of teams, and that's why they're 3-4. Last time LeBron James was below 500 like this, he was a rookie. They were 2-5. This is cause for concern. I don't know how much concern. You could say a little bit. Maybe they'll run the tape. They'll run 10, 5-game win streak, 6-game win streak. But you can't just ignore this. You can't just say everything's going to be all right without really looking at things, really looking at the film. Pointing out the fact that certain guys don't get back on transition. Like, hey, Dwayne Wade, you might do great moves, you might do this, that, and third, but maybe you're not getting back on transition. LeBron James, same deal. Kyle Korver, maybe you're letting too many guys blow by you. These guys need to really have a come-to-Jesus moment when it comes to that film room. They need to see what is the problem. And to me, their problem is they're just too old. They're too old, and they're not playing to their strengths. Their strength is not team basketball at all. Their strength is not team basketball. They want to support LeBron. That's their goal. The goal for the team is support LeBron. Let's bring him players that support his style of play. Let's bring him shooters so when he drives, he has a support for a shot. Let's bring him guys who can rebound so when he's playing, we support him and taking off the load of him rebounding. Let's support LeBron. Everything that they're trying to do now, ball movement, LeBron at the point guard position, it does not support his game at all. LeBron James, the one key flaw you can say in his game, point blank period, besides like shooting, is he's never been properly coached. He's never had like a Phil Jackson, a Greg Popovich, even a Jeff Van Gundy would have done wonders for LeBron James. Like, his coaching has been mediocre, and when they try to bring in a coach who has somewhat of credibility, he got fired. So LeBron never has had that strong coaching to say, you have to release some of your control on the team in order for you to gain a better team. You could say Eric Spoelstra was one of LeBron James' best coaches, but he was being undermined by LeBron for a long time, and Pat Riley had to actually step in and correct some of that. But even then, LeBron didn't have a strong, sturdy coach. He had a strong, sturdy organization in Miami, but not a strong coach. So everything they're trying to do is not playing to LeBron James' strength. That whole ball movement, trying to get guys. Like LeBron James, the way he wants to get you involved is by him having the ball in his hands and him dictating the pace of the game. That's what he wants. And he's a basketball genius, and he can do passes that nobody else can do. But even with all that, you see where they struggle. You have a guy who's a basketball genius. He could do everything on the court. He could rebound. He could post up. He could play every single position on the court. He's a wizard with the ball. Why is your team struggling? Because that team chemistry, that team buy-in is not there because you're not supporting his strength. Ball movement, trying to run plays for other guys, does not support his strength. Therefore, he has a minus 17. Therefore, other guys feel like they're ball watching because LeBron has the ball in his hands. And this is why Kyrie wanted to get out. Once again, this is why Kyrie looks like the smartest man in the room. His team has a better record than the Cavs. I know it's early, of course it's early, whatever. But he seems like the smartest guy in the room because he wanted that team chemistry, that team buy-in, not one or two guys go ham and everybody else is basically give him the ball, let us get him the ball. So this, for LeBron, this is a maturation period because he's going to have to let go of the reins and trust Ty Lue. And in trusting Ty Lue, they will have struggles. They will go 3-4. They will have stretches where they go 2-6. They will have stretches when they go 1-3. But if that 1-3 stretch is what is going to correct this let's play one-on-one basketball and lack of team buy-in, so be it. Because when they get to the playoffs, they have a stronger team. Because if you think that Isaiah Thomas is just you're gonna wait for him to come in, LeBron gives him the ball, he goes ham, LeBron goes ham, and they're both still minus 17, and you think you're gonna win games in the playoffs? No, not at all. Not one bit, not whatsoever. So if I'm Tyronn Lue, I do play to their strengths. Run plays for their strengths. Run, 1-4 pick and roll for LeBron, but get a little bit of ball movement before. Do a pin down, then turn it to a 1-4 pick and roll. Don't try to change these leopard spots because you can't get rid of them. Like, everything the way that LeBron plays is ingrained in him. It's 100% ingrained in him. And all these guys, the problem, they're not young, so it's not like you can correct their errors overnight. You know, young players, 1 or 2 years, you kind of shift them. Iman Shumpert, been in the league 5-6 years. He is what he is. J.R. Smith, he is what he is. Dwayne Wade, he is what he is. Like, you're not going to turn these guys into all of a sudden, you know, lockdown defenders, and the ball movement is on point. They know how to run plays, and they know multiple progressions. This team is allergic to that stuff, and that's why they're struggling, because they're trying to play an assist. They're trying to bring in system basketball, but they don't have system players. Like, they have too much. Their talent believes in their talent more than they believe in their system, and that's why they're struggling. That's why they're getting beat by the Knicks, because it's number one, it's a lack of effort getting blown out like that and losing multiple games. But number two, it's your execution is not there. Your belief in one another is not there. And that takes time, that takes chemistry. But I'm telling you right now, this does not look good for the Cavs. And this does not look good for the rest of their season and LeBron's decision going forward. Because LeBron can very well recruit guys to go play somewhere else, and he doesn't have to worry about this system crap. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction. Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.